this fallout anyhow?
It's powerful, terrorizing itself. Nuclear skirmish.
Hi, honey. Listen, with Sean and us all being home together, it's been an amazing year. But even so, I know our best days are yet to come. I don't think that Sean and I need to tell you how great of a father you are. But we're going to anyway. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? You are kind and loving and patient.
No, come on.
So
Don't
patient.
do that.
Patience of a saint, my mom used to say. But everything we do, no matter how hard,
Hey, we're trying it again. Yeah, we are one, just gluttons for punishment. Was that loud as well? I don't know if it's going to be loud. It honestly, what's probably going to happen is there's going to be a copyright strike against the music, and then one of the ways to fix that is to just go in and erase the song. So it might be quiet as all get up. And then you're going to be sitting there going to be like, why was it so quiet? Why didn't he say anything? Well, just because there was music there. And I'm not sure. But one of the things that I don't want to skip this. So it's still loud. So first and foremost, we're going to have to go in and turn it down. But I want this ambiance. I want this aesthetic.
War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the U.S. ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself, for my wife, for my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes.
All right, here we are. So we have successfully installed Cheat Terminal, which is good because that is an extra that I put in. And then yes, there are a
War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
Absolutely. Now get ready and stop hogging the mirror.
Right.
All right, we need to get ready. First thing I want to. Okay, wait, nope, cancel. So we can't do anything with the sound until after we basically get stuck in. Fine. So right off the bat, as we all know, I always change. I'm not gonna mess with her. I'm gonna leave her the way she is. And basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lighten Brother Ham up a little bit. You know, unfortunately, we're
Oh,
gonna put him to my
there's
color.
something.
You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be closer to what I am. So, and I'm not gonna change much about him. To tell you the truth, we're gonna change the hair to make sure it fits in. Yeah, that's it. That's our look right there. All right. So, in truth, with all the extra added hairs, we don't need them because technically, you know, w- it's one or the other, right? For us. And then we're just probably going to go straight short
Looking good,
crop.
if I do say so myself.
And then come back here, look at the color. So we got a warm black, deep brown. I think actually we're going to go deep brown. All right. So now, that is our hair. I think we actually have to go to chin. Yep. To pick our facial hair. And then let's see if we really got something going here. Now, what I would love is the beard in the opening that we had to cut short. There's no telling, the two tone colors in the beard. I don't know that I really want something like that, right? My problem is to get the beard that I'm hoping for. I don't know if we're gonna find it. To tell you the truth, I might have to just quit while I'm ahead and then say, okay, no, like if we could get you see the sides more tapered in, I'd be happy with it. And it's just that I don't think we're gonna get there. And then you see, boom. So, excuse me. That frog just jumped up and got in my throat real quick there. That wasn't good. See, I don't like that. I don't like the sides at all. Too long on the sides. I want it more tapered in. So,
I love that face.
yeah. Well, you're the only one. All right, so we can go back. Do we want any extras? Um, we always put a scar, right? All of us, we always do. So might as well. Why buck the system? All right. I don't want that one. I want. Where's the other one? Not that one. Yeah, that one. And then gotta fade it in to go with there. Boom. Okay. And yeah. All right.
Not
Except.
bad. Not bad.
And then let's get the body together. All right. So I like to stick with the muscular side, but yeah, we put on a few extra pounds over the time, and then there are no overlays to add, that meaning tattoos. So, boom. We're gonna leave Nora just as she is. We're gonna say, okay, peace. All right. So, while these things are running, and you can see he's still trying to figure out what he's doing, we're gonna come back here. We're just gonna take a look around. There's our Nora, and these things are running in. So here's what's happened. All right. So who I believe is the Modlist creator has reached out and asked me if I would or have tried the 1.24, the 1.2.4 update to this mod list. Um, and so I was like, okay, let me go look. Let me see which one. I was at using 1.3,
Let Cosmos take
1.2.3.
care of it.
So I was like, okay, I don't know what has changed to the list because don't get me wrong, we have looked at this list, and in truth, it's one of my favorite aesthetics, right? The feel of it, the whole, just everything about it is pretty cool, right? So it is an awesome list to try to run. The problem is getting it to run, having that stability. Okay. So we're going to take a look there. Now, here's the other thing.
Wonder
And
what
then
Sean will grow up to be.
I'll warn you right off the bat. And this is just a little housekeeping, but it is more kind of, look, I appreciate all of you that come in here. I appreciate all of you that subscribe. Subscribing truly helps out this channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're just under halfway there right now. And so any help is very much appreciated. But the people in this community for this channel, we are of a certain ilk. And that is, we believe in long play. We believe in having fun. We believe in doing what it is that you like to do. So when I play the game, I'm sharing with you how I like to play the game. I'm not trying to play it any particular way to meet somebody's, feelings or how, or what their expectations are. I'm going to play and I'm going to show you how I play. I'm not going to chop it up. I'm not going to shorten it. I might limit how long I'm playing just to keep the videos to a certain period of time. So in an hour and a half, it may take us that whole hour and a half just to do two things. But that's what you're here for. You're here to watch that. And if you're not, bye. You know, it doesn't hurt my heart if my style and what I'm doing isn't what you're looking for. There are thousands of people out there creating videos every day, putting videos out there. Some are chopping it up. I have a style of video that I like to watch. I like to watch long plays. I like to watch detailed, in-depth playing of a game. I don't want it all chopped up and going from point to point to point. I don't have a problem with ADHD or attention, my attention deficit. Okay. I don't need it to constantly be changing every 5-10 seconds, to keep me going. As a matter of fact, I may have a problem where I'm too focused and too slow, right? But that's okay. And then I watch certain YouTubers and some I'll watch and then I get annoyed because all they're doing is jumping around. And it's like, yeah, it's not what I'm here for. And then instead of berating them in the comment section, I move on to someone else. You come at me, I come back at you. Plain and simple. I grew up in Washington, D.C. Right now, according to our idiot president, it's the murder capital of the world. And I will say this, though. It was at one time. And sadly, that time was when I was actually living there. So I'm not going to say causing, causing, and, whatever you want to say, I cause and effect is what I'm thinking of, right? Oh, you used to live there and it was the murder capital of the world and now you don't and it's not. Well, you take that how you will, right? Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was. You know what I'm saying? I have an alibi, I think, so we'll go with that. Uh, so yeah, you come here. This is what you're gonna get, and you're gonna be appreciated for hanging out with us, right? Constructive feedback is more than welcome, right? Hey, John, you missed that. Hey, John, you could have done it this way. Hey, John, did you remember to do this before you started playing? Did you run this? Did you run that? And then yeah, okay. But if it's just some asinine comment, you know what I'm saying? It's not appreciated, it's not wanted, and you're not welcomed here. Plain and simple. So, with all that said, we're gonna get stuck in, and again, yeah, it's gonna be an hour and a half, and you know what? You're gonna watch me run around and loot stuff because that's what I do. I don't know that these paintings. I love the paintings, but I just don't know that they're the most appropriate paintings for a kids' room. That's my addition. Yes, I add crazy stuff. Right. One of the things I add is immersive containers. I will not play without it. I will not play. I will not play a playthrough without immersive containers or without Crazy Earl's Scrapyard. We will see coming soon that this mod list has I believe it's called Purpose Beans PRB repair pack, and I didn't remove it because I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but that will probably be something I end up removing. Remember, no matter how much I like the aesthetic, how much I like a certain thing, about the feel of it, one of the things that is most important to me when I'm playing a list is stability. I don't care if it looks cool. It needs to be stable. And if it's just going to keep crashing all the time. And then we know with Bethesda games, right? Which is sad, but it is a give and take, right? What games can you mod the most? Bethesda games. Which games are probably the most unstable? Bethesda games. Okay? Yeah. Now, I will say this. Looking at, okay, so this comes up. We are going to be Army. We are going to be enlisted. We made it to Sergeant First Class. That means we were in a while. We learned close combat assault. We were expect marksmen, not expert, just expect, and rangers. All right. So we got medium combat deployments. Hey,
173.5 Fahrenheit. Brewed to perfection.
Grognak the Barbarian and the Jungle of the Bat Babies. My favorite. Thanks,
Hey.
Cosworth.
Of course, sir.
So that was for us.
More of the same.
Now, I will tell you this. Okay, so with that bit of housekeeping done, what I do like is I love this floor, right? How did she get there? Did she walk in like behind us? Stealth like?
Oh, sounds like someone made a sticky.
Are you?
I shall attend to young Sean.
Yeah, I need to go figure out my wife's stealth abilities.
But Codsworth's really good with Sean.
Hey, hon.
Can't believe it's almost Halloween.
Now, who left
He'd
those here?
finish making Sean's costume.
It's a little early to be drinking.
Says who? Says who? When is it too early to ever drink? All right, that might not have been something we needed. So yeah, the aesthetic here, everything, the feel is awesome. Okay, so
Nuka-Cola.
I'm
Ice
not,
cold.
I'm not knocking it, but I am concerned. I'm more
You know
concerned.
that? It's probably that salesman. He comes for you every day.
I'm more concerned.
I'm so proud of her. Good old USA.
I'm concerned about how it's going to
Good morning.
affect things
Vault-Tec calling.
later. Voltec. Okay, Voltec. What's that?
Vault-Tec? Remind me again?
Why, we're about you, sir, and helping secure your future. You see, Vault-Tec is the foremost builder of state-of-the-art underground fallout shelters. Vaults, if you will. luxury accommodations where you can wait out the horrors of nuclear devastation. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
Okay. All right. So we got to figure out what's so important.
What's so important?
Why, nothing less than your entire future. If you haven't noticed, sir, this country has gone to heck in a handbasket. If you'll excuse my language. The
You're
big
excused.
kaboom is... It's inevitable, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And coming sooner than you may think. If you catch my meaning. Now, I know you're a busy fellow, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being a precious commodity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault.
Yeah.
Vault 111.
Okay. Hey. All right.
Sounds great.
Oh, it is. Believe you me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're already cleared for entrance in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation.
No, we don't want that.
I just need to verify some information. That's all.
Okay. Let's do it.
Sure, let's do it.
Splendid.
Mm-hmm.
Splendid. Now, let's see.
All right. So we are going to be, yeah. All right. And then we got 28 points available to us. All right. So the first things I always add points to is that. Now, I like VATS. I like being able to charm myself through certain situations. With this number of points, you really don't have any kind of, I don't want to say you don't have any real weakness, right? Now, I mean, we could make ourselves glass cannons. We could make ourselves as unlucky as possible. And then use that to say, you know, excuse me. Yeah, there we go.
Wonderful. That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault.
Yeah, you do that. It's right
Congratulations
there.
on being prepared for the future.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Don't mind my haunted house.
Mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
Oh, look at this.
Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I
Mm-hmm.
have my moments.
Yeah. Can I move now? I couldn't. Oh, this is as far as I can get
Sean has been
to the
changed.
door.
Absolutely refuses to calm down. I think he needs some of that paternal affection you seem to be so good at.
Yeah, let me close the.
You heard Codsworth.
Yeah, I will. I'm about to. I'm just gotta close the refrigerator door. We don't live in a barn, okay? And then did you see that the box in here actually had some stuff in it? Because that's immersive containers. Before I go check on the boy, I gotta see if this box. See, that is just set piece. That is a set piece, right? Oh, wait, John, don't do it. Don't do it. What are we doing? We're looting stuff. We're looting stuff before we're even supposed to be looting stuff. Oh my gosh. We are ignoring the boy, the child, just to loot.
Broken again.
Man.
Can't wait to teach him to ride this.
I can't wait to loot that later. Or loot this. Hey, buddy.
How are the two most important men in my life doing? Spin the mobile a bit. He loves that.
Well, I think the two most important men in your life need a diaper change. Both of them. I'll go second.
How's my little guy? Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Yeah, I think, hey, will it be like that night? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will it be like that night in the park a year ago?
Sir, Mom, you should come and see this.
I mean,
Codsworth, what's wrong?
Sean, we have Sean as a souvenir of how well that night went. You know what I'm saying? Oh, am I supposed to? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going. All right. There's nothing else to loot, so I gotta go.
Yes, followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions. We're trying to get confirmation.
What?
We seem to have lost
What did
contact
he
with our
say?
affiliate stations.
He said there's no more stuff to loot right now.
We do,
Oh,
we do
no.
have.
I know.
We do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations.
Oh no! They blew up the loot.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We need to get to the vault.
You see how distraught he was
Let's go.
over just. I mean, come on, dude. It's loot. We'll find more. Hold on. Okay, nothing. Hold on, I can't keep going. Can I pick this up? Wait, was there something in there? I'm looking for loot, okay? Ooh, showcases. I'm trying, bruh. I'm trying. Okay? Hey, keep up.
Just help me pack it up.
Notice we got nothing packed. And then you wonder why we're looting all over the place. We came in with nothing.
Absurd. I am
Not on the list. You don't get in.
I'm going in. You can't stop me.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Okay.
Look, Broham said, hey, I hope they got clothes in the vault.
Otherwise, return home.
Hey, sir.
We need to get in.
Yeah.
We're on the list.
Sir.
Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Good luck, ma'am. God
You
help
two,
us all.
follow me. Come on.
What's gonna happen to all those people
We're
outside the
doing
gate?
everything we can. Now keep moving.
All right, I'm going, man. I'm going. Oh, look, wait. There's a kickball. You never know when you can use a kickball in the apocalypse. Hold on. Extinguisher? Hey, extinguisher. You can use that. I mean, there's fires. Wait. Cigarettes. I'm not. Well, we had cigarettes at the place. I don't know which one of us smokes. Ooh, I'm going to take that. Ooh, can I have a thing? All right, well, we're going to go in. Okay. I'm going to quick save. Why? Because we may die on this thing.
All right, that's it. Send it down. Almost there. We're gonna be okay. I love you, both of you.
We
Love you,
too.
honey.
Oh my god.
All right. So, technically, we should have died, right?
Hold on. Can't this thing move faster?
Oh god. Oh god. Oh
Here.
god.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? Technically. We were not insulated from that blast. Okay, now, very interesting point right here. Okay. So, what we need to do, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to die. TGM. Okay, God mode is enabled. All right. Wait, we're going to do one more thing. TCL. We're going to turn off collisions. Why are we going to turn off collisions? So this is something this mod has started doing. So we're going to walk ourselves. Okay. We're going to walk ourselves all the way down. All right. Now, first thing we're going to do. We're going to turn collisions back on. Okay. Oh. Now watch.
We did it.
We did it.
We made it.
All right. Hold on.
Everyone, please step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion.
Hello.
To worry, folks. We'll get everyone situated in your new home. Vault
Hello.
111.
I'm not looking up your
Better
skirt,
future.
really.
underground. Yes, up the stairs.
Okay, hold on. Wait, we got an invisible wall.
No, don't get caught up thinking about that. You're safe now. Everyone, just head up these stairs.
I'm
and
trying,
through the door
bruh.
there.
They have to fall first, bro. Okay, wait. Now, I am going to do a quick save there. I don't want to reload.
Please,
But we may
keep
have
moving.
to.
Up the stairs and through the door.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get them. You want to know how I go get them? All right. Honey. Honey.
Up the
Honey.
stairs, please.
I know it may seem like I'm looking up your skirts. Well, because technically I am. All right. Just got to get close enough to talk to one of you. To engage you.
We'll
Yes.
get everyone through this as quickly as possible. Just head up
Hey
the
there.
stairs.
Oh my God.
Oh! Oh! Nora! Alright, well.
Please head up the stairs.
Oh, dang.
Got a lot to do to get you oriented.
Fix your skirt, babe. Nora,
What's going on?
what's going on? You guys just survived a significant fall and nuclear fallout trauma. Okay? Luckily, I am a master at my craft. You see that right there?
Just step over to the table. Welcome. Okay.
Hello.
Thanks.
Right over there.
What now?
Just follow the doctor here. He'll show
Okay.
you where to go.
Is-
All right, you
i-
three.
Is he gonna be able
Follow
to
me.
treat? Sean might be
It's
concussed.
down the hallway right there.
Sean might be
This is our new
concussed.
home.
Okay.
This way.
Oh, you're gonna love it here. This is one of our most advanced facilities. Not that the others aren't great,
You
mind
see?
you.
Look at this. All that stuff in there.
It's gone. Good.
That is
Oh,
immersive
everything
containers.
we had.
Ooh,
Mother
yeah,
and
we're
Papa
gonna need that because Sean might be
honey.
concussed.
What if they didn't make it?
Sir.
I know this is a difficult time.
How
but
long do you
Vault-Tec
think
will
we'll be down here?
Every step of the way.
Oh, we'll be going over all that in orientation. Just a few medical items we have to get through first.
Good fit, don't you think?
The Vault suit is designed to be fashionable as well as comfortable.
Prepared for the future, right?
It's fashionable as well as comfortable. All right, you want me to come over
Just
here?
step in here.
All right,
and
wait.
Put your Vault suit on.
Wait. Hey,
My
what's
little
up,
guy.
buddy?
I'm not going far. I'll
Yeah.
just be over there.
Okay.
There he is. See? Daddy's not going far.
All set? Just step inside and put on your Vault suit.
It would have been nice if you had a two-seater, bruh. But I guess at this point we do believe we're being decontaminated and not actually cryogenically
The
frozen.
pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper into the vault. Just relax.
What if there really
Time
was
for a
deeper
whole life.
into the vault?
Resident secure. Occupant vitals normal. Procedure complete.
Babe, how you feeling?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
All right. So they're gonna come in, steal our baby. So, like I said, I like the aesthetic. I like the feel. You can see there's some jankiness already, right off the bat. kind of, it's interesting how you never notice that I'm awake, you know? All right.
Come on! There has to be a release! Come on, come on, come on! Oh, God!
I'll find who did this, and I'll get Sean back. I promise.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. Actually, I'll be back later.
All right. So the Robco, I mean, we can investigate here, but we can look to see, you know, local override, and then ours was remote. Boom. Uh-oh. Just, okay, just for those of you, look away. I'm looting. Yeah, you're watching me look at, you know, test out a new mod, and yeah, the first thing I did is started looting. I can't help it. Okay. I need to start going to Looters Anonymous. But, oh no, the worst thing. Oh, okay. You say the worst thing in the world is you walk up to a thing and you want to loot it, but it's empty. It's empty. It's empty. Look away. If you have small children, secure them. I will loot. See, we got a gun there. Oh, a knife. I don't always take the battered clipboard. I usually, on purpose, try to get myself to not take them. After a bit, I'll take a couple, right? And then I'll try to stop. We went through that little trigger point for the cough. We got knuckles. We can't use any of that stuff. The stencil, the wrench. This is always empty, and it annoys the crap out of me that it's empty, and or just there if it's empty. Whoa. One, two, three, for sure. All right. I'm not mad at the type of loot that we're finding, so you know. All right, we gotta check in here. Impact. Empty. It's empty. All right. Cigarette. All right, security logs, last entry. No all clear from Voltec is coming. We need to leave. We're all but out of food. I almost murdered Stanley for dropping a daggone salt cracker on the floor. A handful of us confronted the overseer about opening the vault. I never knew a man that small could shout that loud. Now he's locked himself in the office along with the rest of the science staff. we're supposed to hand over any food, weapons, and medicine we have by tonight, or there's going to be consequences. I've talked to everyone. It's time. One way or another, we're getting out of this vault. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now that is stuff we can use during an apocalypse. All right. What in the world? Ah, there we go.
Giant roaches.
Yeah,
What
bro.
the hell?
I know. What were you thinking? Oops. Oops. All right, those boxes are not lootable. I always come in here and just take the game. I don't play it, but I take the holotape. All right, nothing. Oh, hold on a sec. Now I know why. All right, so let's do a quick save. Let's go into settings, gameplay. That's why. I'm sitting there like, well, why are we able to I didn't check all this stuff. All right, so since we're here. Okay. Nope. There we go. Survival adds additional challenges. I got you, bro. I got you. Understand? Okay, so just a little kind of a heads up, and we'll see it in just a minute. Once we, all right, we can't sleep. Now there is a mod that does the sleep or save thing. It would be nice to have it right here, you know, just to save. But you know, what do we got in there? Glass, and then all right, we'll take that. And there's another one here. The CU motion sensor. That's interesting now that it does that. That because that gives you circuitry and everything every time you grab one of those. All right. So without survival, you don't get this prompt, right, to fill the bottle. So we picked up a good number of bottles. So now we're gonna fill them all with purified water before we leave the vault. Now, some people, you know, they would rush through this as quickly as possible. Like I said, though, that's not how we play here. We don't rush through anything. We don't, unless our time was short and we just needed to get it done before we ran out of time. But that's not how we roll here. Oh, then we'll take all of that. I'm trying to loot and go. before we get attacked. I mean, the smart thing would be to go get rid of one is to not be in the dark, but we're trying to hide. I'll be back. We're gonna do the smart thing first. There's one. Where's the other one? There you are. I think that was all three. Because the machine got it. Alright. Pack of cigarettes. Yeah, we'll take that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright. Oh, heck yeah. And I think we almost missed that. Was that shotgun shells or an actual shotgun? It's crazy what they put in these boxes, right? So if we actually do like this, we can see what our carry weight is. 280. We got 81 of it used right now.
What happened here? Where is everyone?
We just picked up a Winchester. So my thing is, I try not to just literally just pick up everything, but sometimes it's just too hard not to. Just because, why not? You can use it, right? But at some point, you do get like so encumbered that you're like, yeah, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. We're all full up here. You know, it's more of a think you know. Oh. All right. Oop, oop, can we get it? Oh, shoot. Holy cow. All right, all full up. Ooh, stim packs. Not like we don't have enough already.
Is this all that's left?
Oops, sorry, bro. Didn't mean to step on you. No, watch for the skeleton, Bow. Watch for the skeleton.
Nice. coming back later for you.
Okay. Now, one thing I wish immersive containers would do is put something in these dressers. There we go. All right, let's open this little thing. All right. There's more. Oh no! That was what we would consider I love bats. All right. Come on, AP. Come on, AP. There's more, I know. Now, I gotta be honest with you, that's my least favorite type. You can see. So I think it's interesting, like my caution level, the percent, right? That's very interesting mechanic there. See, there's more. But wait, there's more. I don't know where they are. Whoa. Oh, the mission. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hey, VATS enhanced. Thank you very much. See, the game that knows just how much I enjoy. Just how much I enjoy my loot. Yeah, we're almost an hour in, and yeah, we haven't even left the vault yet. That is what's called slow play.
Is anyone alive?
No, we just killed everything that was alive. Seriously? Did he have like some sort of bullet shield or something? I think there's a... All right, you can see all the stuffs that we got. All right, we got some armor. All right, we're gonna put that on for now. All right, there is a tape right there. And if I'm not mistaken, hey bud, you're blocking this little. Is that just dirt, trash? Yeah. Okay, those just files on the floor. All right.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated.
All right, we're gonna move around.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah. Everyone. All right, so there's two reasons why I have the cheat terminal. This one and this one. We don't need this one just yet, but basically it has its own little dimensional storage, right? There's a mod you can get. It's called a dimensional storage container chest or whatever. And it's a chest that if you go right outside here, you can go pick it up and then it'll be in your inventory. And then you can drop it anytime that you want to put all your excess stuff. And it's kind of like a bag of holding is what it is. I just prefer to use this if need be. So it is what it is. The other thing I use it for is the world manipulation. Timescale. Right now, the timescale, right? I don't know what it's set to. Usually it tells you what it's set to. I set it to 5. And then the key is to see this say current value. 1 real minute equals 5 Fallout minutes. Hey, if that isn't an indicator that we are slow playing, that right there, then I don't know what is, right? I mean, there's no guarantee. I mean, nothing will say it more than, yeah, these guys are slow playing by doing that. All right, so I'm going to put that in so we can listen to it.
Frank, Dr. Magnuson, we're all rather relieved to have you here. Our last technical review was horribly glowing and it's only gotten worse. Oh, do you mind? I'm recording on my Pip-Boy for future citation, you understand?
Yes, that's fine.
I'm hoping you can start right away. And we've actually been using your past research as reference, so...
Yes, well, from what I've read, I'm not surprised you've been having problems. Pod's designs are hardly conventional.
Speaking of which, I understand you've already had a pod reserved for yourself. You must really believe in the project.
Yes. Well.
Here we are. The entrance to what will be Vault 111.
How many more we got? 7. So what you see there. Okay, how many? We're down our last 2. I wanted Scrounger, but I also wanted Science. Oh, I need Hacker. Oh, I need. Oh man, I done screwed up. All right, so we're gonna take Hacker. Science is gonna be the next one, and then Scrounger. All right. So if you were wondering what level we are, whoops. Let's see. So we are level 15. All right. Medium deployments is level 15. Light deployments is level 10. It's the premise that what happened is we are trained. We were a former military. We are trained. We're not level 1. I never could get behind that concept. And for me to play, I got to go do it. Now, the only thing is sometimes most time I actually pick light combat deployments. So we're, level 10, right? And then that's it. But I decided medium here. You can see we collected 49 stim packs throughout, right? That's a little excessive, a little high, but you know what? I ain't mad at you. I'm not gonna oh my god, invalidate the whole thing because we found this. So, first thing I'm gonna do, boom, quick save, right there. I like to put it right there. And then, as far as weapons, we got the Winchester is interesting. I'm not a huge, but we're gonna go ahead and I'll keep it right there. Other than that, everything else is just gonna get broken down. I think clothing. We have eyeglasses that gives us +1 perception, so we'll throw those on there, right? All right, let's get on up out of here. We'll listen to the other one once we leave. Now, what I find is funny, or not funny, but interesting, is a lot of times in these mods, you lose this platform, right? It becomes invisible. And you saw when we came down, that was actually a problem. And you can see it looks like it's open. It isn't, but it looks like it. We're just going to finish and exit the vault.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
Now, one of the things that we did do, and here's why I do the survival quick save, and is in doing survival, right? They take the quick save and save away from you, so you only can save when you sleep. That's great if the game was stable and you didn't have to worry about anything else, right? But the game isn't stable. And, the penalty of losing an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of gameplay, because you forgot to save is, I think, too harsh. And the other issue is the game isn't stable, so it can crash at any time. All right. Yeah, we'll say Leers spawn on enemies and right. We're looking for a couple of things to happen real quick here before we move on. All right, I want to get. Thanks for installing AFT, right? That I added. That's amazing follower tweaks, and I added. Now here, this is another one. I think it was already there, but I overwrote it, and I overwrote it because sometimes people install mods and then the term I'm gonna use is dumb it down, but strip it down is really what it is, and they don't give you the full version of the mod, and they try to limit as to what it can do. I don't like that. If I got, there's certain things and certain reasons I add mods to stuff, and if you add the same mod but strip it down and take away the reason without me being able to put it back on, that doesn't work for me. So that's what we're doing here. Now, as you can see, the aesthetic here, it's typical. It's just, hey, you coming out. It's everything. You see, this is over here. This is added. So there's something different that happened here. And what I like is this. Now, I do not like this wheel. I never will, never do, never have. So, but I will say this. One of the things that I don't like that AFT does is the very first thing it does, it says, hey, I want to be favorited in that first slot. And I'm like, no, I don't need you. If you can have that last slot over there so that you're basically the last thing. But no, you cannot have the first slot. All right, so we're going to hit that real quick and just save before we start doing stuff. And then we're going to come over here, and then we can see that immersive containers is basically come in and changed. I didn't mean to take the skull, but look at this. So it's added things to the skeletons. Ooh, vegetable starch. Right away, a bottle, actual nuka-cola. And then, ooh, vegetable starch. I like that. Okay. I ain't mad at that. So this is part of the mod pack or mod list. So we could sleep here if we wanted. And immersive containers does not touch these because these are added by an additional mod. Anything added by an additional mod doesn't get touched because it's not vanilla. Immersive containers only understands the vanilla stuff. And I think it actually understands vanilla and DLC. So those are only things that it will be able to touch. Anything else, any other mods added, it's not part of that leveled list. And so it won't get in there and actually add anything to it. So basically, here's a machete and then a note. What's that? I don't think it's day one. I found, it could be day one, right? I found this really nice place to set up camp. The area seems safe enough, though the vault is kind of weird. Yeah, I guess it is day one. Day two, camp is finally set up, but that vault. Day three, I've got most of the walls set up now. Day four, I found some people who were too scared to go back to Diamond City after the broken mask. Whatever that is. But I told them I had a camp and they could come with me. Day 5. They helped build the rest of the walls. We're doing pretty good. The vault is calling to me, though. Day 6. The vault is calling to me. Day 7. I need to open it. They're telling me I'm crazy. Day 8. I can't anymore. It won't open. Day 9. I shot them all. They said I was crazy. Don't call me crazy. All right, so now we come over here. This is vanilla because this is part of the whole area here. So guess what? Loot is added to these guys. This is ECO. So we're just going to take the stuff in ECO. ECO is something extended crafting. I can't remember the what those stands for. Optimization or something like that. So it expands the crafting, right? And then so as you can tell, right off the bat, you look and you see, for me, a mod list not only has to be cool, right? You know, and then again, but the first thing I want is stability. I have a list of about 10 mods that I can add that will add in the extra pieces that I require. TSMR, the TSSMR, the Sole Survivor Military Record. That's where we now are level 15, right? Because we did medium deployments. Immersive containers. That's what we just saw there. Carl's Scrapyard. We haven't gotten a chance to see that yet, but that does a little something there too. Now you can see this thing here is blocking, right? But there it is. Okay. This vertibird isn't usually there. All right. Heather Kasdan. I've added her to the mod list. She's one of my favorite companions, not my only. And I may still add Ellen, the cartographer. So this vertibird is not usually there, right? So we're not going to see a lot of things here. Now this is added as well. And you can see that's why we're not able to, have any hitbox. You don't see that you can't activate these. I'm tired from a lack of sleep already. But so this is put here just to add to more, right? Kind of give you more of an aesthetic about how these guys were not able to get into the vault, but they tried. Now we're not going to go much further. Usually I'd come this far just to check to see what may be that way. But we're at the edge of it anyway. We're at the edge of the map anyway, so it's not a big deal. We just need to get the sanctuary. Because, in truth, that's what we want to do. We want to see what sanctuary looks like. See? Nothing. But I think, is this empty? Yeah, so that one's empty. And then, a lot of times I don't trust there to not be some awful creature in here. Some mods like to add right off the bat. Get some more ammo. Hey, we'll grab that. What's in here? Oh yeah. What's in there? Yeah. Okay. God dang it. I hate that. The noise. Alright. If I need to, I can come back, but all right, nuclear material, antiseptic, and what's the other one over here? Okay. Sometimes I will go down here to see if there's some stuff down there, but we're kind of in a hurry right now because we're running out of time. And then you guys, seriously, it's been an hour and 15 minutes, right? And we haven't made it back to Sanctuary yet. So you can see, and then honestly, every single playthrough, I don't think I actually ever go any faster than this. I won't say I go any slower either. This is my typical, right? And then the reason that it's doing this is because I think this is tied to up or down. I think if I go, okay, yep. So it doesn't matter. As long as I hit the D-pad, it's either way. I do not like the wheel. It's just, I don't see the purpose to it. I really like the straight up D-pad, left and right, up and down. The wheel actually does more to confuse me than anything. But I will say the wheel for this is not as confusing or as bad as the wheel for, say, Fallout Anomaly. So I'll make do. Well, the clean blue suit, I can see that's probably why. Well, let's take that. We're almost home anyway. Those guys, right? I think it's cool because it's interesting because I don't ever remember seeing that before, but I feel like that's part of it. Now, here's the true test, guys. And then we're going to take the next 15 minutes to try to go through as much as possible. I'm not going to say we're going to get all the way through. We will not talk to Codsworth in this session, more than likely, unless I extend it out to an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. So we'll see, but most likely we won't talk to Codsworth. because this is what I do, right? This is how I do it. So, all right, come in here as quietly as possible. Look at the floor. Now, me personally, I love it. I absolutely 100% love it. And my hat's off to the guy that decided this aesthetic, this motif, and I'll tell you a couple of reasons why I love it. Because it works, right? We remember how nice it looked. And then now, 200 years later, look at it, right? And that's how it's supposed to look. And the thing is, when I look up, look down, right? It's not disappearing on me. It's not clipping through anything, right? I mean, the grass is coming through, but I think we kind of, I think we're kind of making a statement that it is growing through. Oh, I didn't want to take that folder. Paintbrush. Okay, take that. Classic pumpkin. Sure, why not? So the fact that the floor is solid and it feels solid, right? So it doesn't feel like, oh, I didn't know I was standing up. All right. Immersive containers puts food in your cupboards, right? Okay. So we're going to come back here real quick. Broken light bulb. All right. Folder. Bottle caps. Bottle caps. Not sure, though, about the bottle caps thing. Where's my mirror? Okay, no mirror. All right. The reason being is, at what point did we start? Was people living in here with the bottle caps? Right? Because at what point? All right. I'm going to jump over here. We're going to come to this next house. All right. Here's the next true test. A lot of times with these mod lists that change the thing. All right. So one test, and I'm going to say, is that does fail. That is two different trees. That's not, that is two different trees. This is the vanilla, and this is the added. Two different trees. You see one, and then the other right through the middle here. Okay, this is the vanilla in the middle, and then this and this piece are the added around it. And what it's trying to do is give you the illusion or the feel that these are thicker, bigger trees. And am I behind it? All right, hold on. We need water. Wrong thing. All right. Oh, that's another thing. Good thing it did that, because here's another thing that I do. I put the water right there. Let's go back. And medicine. I don't usually put right away. If I had blood packs, I would put them there. But I don't have any. All right. Do I have any real food that I can actually try to eat? Not really. So we'll hold off. All right. Not. All right. So we come around here. Hey, buddy. All right. Boop. All right. Next. All right. Now, whoever puts the 2-ball in the fridge, all right, more power to you. Not something I would normally do. All right, so this was another big test. God dang it, man! What the frick? Oh yeah, hold on. Audio. Let's turn that down a little bit. I hate to do it, but yeah, we got to turn down the music too, just in case. All right. It is saving. All right. Okay. All right. So this I'm okay with because yeah, it is stable as all get up. I like it. I like it. So when you've added, we got 26 bobby pins already.
Sweet.
Should have. Okay. I think we're gonna be okay with the weight, with our weight. All right. So let's just get around here real quick. Bottle cap, bottle cap. Okay. Get in here real quick. See? So we are going to try to do things a little bit, like I said, a little faster than normal. Normally I just take my time, crouched. I didn't notice it, and we're going to look real quick. All right. Oh, nice. I hate when someone adds in a mod that has AP drain when you're crouched and sneaking. And then, look, I don't disagree that, yeah, if you were crouched and sneaking, it will be exhausting. I don't think it's more exhausting than sprinting would be. So adding it is fine if you lowered the calculation so that it wouldn't be as draining or if more draining than sprinting would. And what I mean by this is if I were to sprint in game, around this house and it drained half my AP to do so. Okay. Then if I crouched and went around the house and at the end it still drained half my AP, that's too much. It should be basically, a quarter, maybe a third at the most of the same drain that you would get from actually sprinting. So, yeah, I'm not a proponent of it, right? And I'm like, if you can't get the calculation right, then just don't add it. It doesn't make sense. It breaks all kinds of immersion if you put it in and it isn't working right. If it doesn't work right and you put the immersion in, no, it doesn't. But I will say this so far, again, like I said, this is like the aesthetic. It is so cool. It is so absolutely cool, right? I just like it. I don't like the trees, again, because I know they're clipping through one another. And then so, oops. Oh, you poor thing. You thought you had it. You thought you had a chance. And I'm going to show you something real quick here. We got one more to get, though. Took 3 shots. God dang it. All right, hold on. This is why we knew we were good, because we could store all of our stuff. Let's pick this stuff up. We'll store it again. And then, immersive containers doesn't touch this. I didn't add in. Usually I'll add in like lootable cars and trucks. And then you have to do the lootable cars and trucks DLC patch. Usually I'll put them in because nothing irks my chain more than if you walk up to something. To me, if I feel like when I walk up to something, it should have loot in it. Remember, I am a looter. Okay, when you're watching me play, you're watching a looter play, and unfortunately for you, if you don't like it, this is what this is what you get. This is exactly what you get. Anybody, feel free in the comments. Just say, hey, yeah, I'm a looter too. I spend an inordinate amount of time in my gameplay looting, then hey, you have a brother in arms here, okay? Because I do too. I spend as much time doing stuff other than this, right? Questing, as I do looting. And here's the other thing too. I also am a crafter. I am huge on crafting. So the two biggest time expenditures for me in a game is looting and crafting. And then after that, then okay, yeah, then we'll get through and do some quests, and also I'm talking to my NPC, my followers, right? Trying to build relationships with them. So yeah, this is not a typical here, let me go in there and show you all the cool, you know, combat and stuff. Because for me, combat is only a portion, a small portion of a video game. It adds excitement. It is cool, and it keeps the game, moving along. Well, I'm not gonna say keeps it moving along, but it's a necessary part.
Looks really strong.
But it is not all that the game is about, and that's is not all that I do here. And then when you come in here, you're getting the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. All right, so we've got food. Yep. Let me look here. We need to eat some probably. Where's my grilled? Yep. All right. Boom. Did I loot you? All right. Okay. Come back over here real quick. Boom. All right. Now, usually I pulled the pre-war money back out. I don't like it, the fact that it goes in there. Yeah, it is considered cloth, so it is part of the crafting components. But I don't consider it, trash or junk or whatever like they do. Okay, so right here, just so you know, all right, this is not. And you saw that we got a little jittery, right? And that's to me is what happens with the game. It gets jittery, especially like right here. There's one tree and then there's another tree, and they're trying to take the same space. Is you know, this is added, and then the real tree in the middle. So I'm just not a huge proponent, because for me, I don't need. It doesn't. My game, I just don't need all the things. Did you see what he tried to do there? He's over there. He's like, I'm gonna hide behind the window. You can't get me. Oop. Dang it. All right, which way is he coming? I'm shooting the fence. Now, I will use a mixture of VATS and me trying to dead eye shoot something. But at no point will you ever hear me claim to be an awesome, you know what I'm saying? To be awesome at this stuff, right? And there's no shame in my game when it comes to using VATS. I love VATS. I think it's an actual fun element of the game. I really, so what I don't like is a lot of the additional changes that folks try to put into the game to change the way the VATS is. I don't like bullet time or whatever that is. I actually don't like it. So it's not something I require or need. And like I said, it's a matter of, as we do this, it's all about preference, right? And that's the cool part about these games and these mod lists and such. If you can get out there, take a look, see the mod list that you like with the aesthetic that you like, and you know, if you know what you're doing, change them up to work out the way that actually works best for you, then yeah, there's no shame. There's no, in my opinion, there is no problem when you say, okay, well, I don't like this. Because again, right? Variety is the spice of life, right? And some things that you may like, I won't like. Some things I love, you won't like at all. So, and but we are all free to have that disagreement, to agree or disagree. See, now, the one thing I wanted to get to is real quick is this here, right? Now, normally, for me, when it's time to start settlement building, I tear this down. Boom. So I have to see what Pribbisbanes or whatever actually is about. All right. So there's a couple more tests, and then we're good and go. Oh. Sometimes it takes me like 4 or 5 tries to get up this doggone thing. Well, it's old age. One is old age. The other is too much to drink. Right? To hit that right hitbox just the right way. Come over here. There's gourds. There's another mute fruit. And then another one over here. Did I get all the gourds? Got all the gourds in way. There's hub flower over there. Again, normally I'd be crouched doing this. But we're gonna so you see that sometimes it takes a bit to line these up, and you see how much damage I took. Oh shoot. I can't even get a static hitbox. so you can see sometimes it's just best to let bats take care of that, right? Where's the other body? Gotta get the bubble gum. Boom, boom. All right, so we hit that one. We got that one. There you are. All right. And then what's in here? Stim pack. We can take that. Nothing. 100 cream dress. All right. Then what do you got? Oop. Yes. Oh shoot. It was stockpiling for the apocalypse. All right. So now what's happened is we've got everything. Now I don't last thing we could do, and I don't do it. This is added right here. So you got this added, you got these little flowers and stuff. That's all added. So again, inside here, and I think it's right there. This is added. That's added. This is the original tree. The vanilla tree. All right. So transfer. Usually I take these and these because they work as currency. All right. And then we haven't even checked in here yet. Now, Codsworth has to know we're here. He just doesn't care yet. Seriously? Alright. Whoop. Alright. Now. Whoops. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab this.
Yes.
Then we're gonna go, boom, workshop. All right, okay. Now, what Crazy Earl's scrapyard does for you is when I scrap this, the list is a lot. The list of what you're gonna get in return is a little bit more expanded with Crazy Earl's scrapyard. So I usually go that way. So a lot of times it means you're not just getting that standard. Now, right here, here's my concern. Ah, there it is. There it is. You had me at hello. You had me at hello. All right. The fact that I can just break this down and not. Remember, there's that one mod that you put on there, and honestly, I can never remember the name of it, but you know it when you see it. You come up here, and instead of scrapping the house, what it does, it lets you repair it for like 100 steel or 200 steel or something like that. That, and I should have known it wasn't here, because what happens with that mod is that your terrain, your level, your ground, all of a sudden is all jacked up now. Because what's happening is it's putting its assets down on top of the vanilla assets. It's not removing them, it's putting it down on top. So it is kind of removing it so you don't see it. But in doing so, it's just jacking up everything. And then we should have noticed that, because when we come over and look at the road, we're not falling through it. Typically, when that mod is added, you fall through the road. You do. Now, the biggest changes that Carl's does is now, instead of when you scrap this, you don't get just steel. It gives you a list, and now the number's a little high, 50 steel, but you see it's like, well, it's got screws, it's got gears, springs, rubber, there's fuse, nuclear material, all these things. So it expands that list of what you would normally get. The same with the house. The house isn't just wood and steel, so you're going to get all these other things back from it as well. And then for someone who's as involved with, now I say crafting, not settlement building. I usually do the bare minimum of what I would need to do to build a settlement. But I want all this stuff to be available to me for when it's time to start crafting, right? So I do want to be able to make sure I can build all my. Oh shoot, this is a chair. Screw it. Um, so I do want to be able to do all that. So it is important. Also with the fridge, it does more. Now you can't break down everything, but I think what it allows you to break down is good enough. So, I mean, again, watch this. And there's the original. Same here. And there's the original. There's the original. So, here's the original. Here's the added piece. Oh, wait, there's, yeah. So, are we, is it absolutely necessary, right, to expand out the trees? My argument would be no, it's not. I mean, it's the same, right? I'm fine with the vanilla trees. Then, whoops. So I'm fine with the vanilla trees. Um, if there was a way that it could be done without messing with stability, then okay, do it. Let's do it. So, guys, again, this part, and then because we're gonna do another, thing, and I will say a couple of things here right as we're about to sign off. And for me, like I said, I really do like the aesthetic of this list. I like the feel of it. You know, that introduction, and I couldn't show the whole thing just because there are some copyright stuff in it that you get hit on. So, like I said, there's going to be probably a point where it's you're not going to hear any music, but just know that's only because there was a copyright strike against some of the music in the intro. But I do think it is one of the better intros that I've seen. So, yeah, whoever put that together, you know, A plus work there. That was just crazy. And I like the dynamic and the storytelling that involved in it. So it was cool. And then, yes, I do agree that your world, right, and environment are storytellers. They do tell a story. And the aesthetic helps with the immersion. So when you're in here and you're, immersing yourself, yeah, it is. It feels really good. This is a list that just feels good. Now, I will say this. One of the things that I am noticing right now is it does feel nice and stable here. All right, we'll turn on our Pip Boy. So right now, yeah, it actually is running and feeling kind of smooth, right? I have the settings on high, not ultra, I have them on high. One of the things, if you're looking at this, remember this is Ash Lotus, and you can get it through oh my gosh, Wabajack, right? It is what I consider one of the smaller lists because it's only like a little over 100 gigs. That compared to some, especially the Skyrim ones, that's that's reasonable and it's a good size. That's why it's always perplexed me why we can't get. There's only about like 500-600 mods in it. So, compared to like some that have, 15, 18, 2,000 mods that they're trying to script all together. And to me, that's a lot. So this one, it's reasonable size, I think. I think it's a great size as far as if you're looking for a mod list and you don't want to go way overboard, right? And get something that is going to be a beast from the start. This right off the bat, the size of this one really plays out really well. So it's I like that. The aesthetic of it, like I said, is one of the better aesthetics and feels that I've seen for the Fallout mods, right? I really like the aesthetic for Anomaly, Fallout Anomaly. The problem is I don't feel like it's stable at all. So in part 2, when we come up with the second part of this, when we go to do it, guess what we're doing? We're going to go, and the first big test is going to be Concord. How stable is it down there? How much stuff has changed down in Concord, and what's clipping and not showing? One of the things I will say this, in looking at the mod page, right, there were a couple of things. One thing I think downloads with it now, but I do remember in the README, in the older stuff, it would tell you need to go out and get the plugin sync. It's not a mod, it's a tool for mod organizer. And then the one thing I hadn't done before is to ensure that I run it. So I'm not sure when that was incorporated, but I know for a fact I hadn't run it before ever. So this is the first time that I've actually run that. And what I've done is not only run it right off the bat, as soon as I loaded up Mod Organizer and opened it, first thing I did was run the plugin sync tool. And then after doing that, and then I installed my mods, and then I ran it again. Right? I didn't expect it to move any of the mods. Heather did move someplace. I can't find her right now. She's in the list, but she didn't load at the bottom of the list like everything else did. So, but not every. So again, like I said, I ran it and then looked at the list to see if anything changed, if anything got moved to the bottom, or any of my mods got moved, up. So definitely look at that and make sure to run it. I say one. The other is, I'm looking at the and this. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy here, but when the mod list was created and ran, it was ran on, I'm going to say, a pretty beast of a laptop computer. So it says it was on a laptop, but it was if I'm not mistaken, it was an i9 275 hertz super whatever processor. It was also a 5070. Okay, so it's relatively new machine. Relatively beast of a laptop machine. My laptop is I'm not running on a laptop right now. This is my computer. This computer is 2 years old. It's a 3080 i9. I forget how many processors. Either 8-core. It might be an i9 8-core. I don't even know if they do at that point when you got to i9. I don't even know if they do the cores. I can't remember. there's 32 gigs of RAM in it. Uh, I'm actually running four different SSDs in it as well. Two smaller ones, two 1 gig SSDs, and then two 4 gig, terabytes, 1 terabyte, two, one, yeah. Um, so I'm running this on one of my, you have C, D, E, and F. So I'm running this on the D, and I'm running at 4960 for the page file, because most uh Modlist, they tell you to take your page file out to 4960. So I'm like, I'd rather have too much than not enough. But on the page, on the mod page here for this mod list in the README, it says 20 to 30 gigabytes for your page file. So one of the concerns I do have is, well, what happens if your page file is too big? Is that just taxing them, your machine too much? And then the other thing is, again, the testing and creation of this mod list was done on, done with like I said, a pretty beast of a computer. And so for me, I'm thinking to myself, right, is like, well, you kind of want to make sure you test it on a computer that's a year, 2 years old, that is only running a 2080 or a 3080. You know what I mean? Because the majority of us folks that are trying to download mods and improve upon games, and these games especially, you know, we're not going. We don't. Nobody got $5,000-6,000 laying around to go and upgrade to a 5070 type computer, right? That's going to be So when I see the recommended is have such high specs, I'm like, oh, that's a little. Yeah, we might want to tone the mod list down. No wonder nobody's getting it to run. You know what I'm saying? So again, first test, A+. Oh, actually, we're gonna go just A. Okay, we're not gonna go A+, because there were a couple of things, right? The trees, for one. To me, that just speaks potential problem down the line. Whether it is a problem, we will eventually find out. But right now, we don't know. So that's one. So there's a potential problem there, because again, here in Sanctuary, this is where you're gonna have where you're gonna have the least amount of problems. If you have problems here, forget it. It is only going to get worse elsewhere. If you can't get out of Sanctuary with minimal problems, your list is already going to be doomed. Plain and simple, right? If the roads are screwing up in Sanctuary, where you're falling through into little pits and everything like that, or it's clipping, or it's disappearing on you, it's going to only get worse out there down in Diamond City and everything like that, as you're chugging and straining, that list even more. So no, it isn't. No. So right now, the first test, Sanctuary is an A. It would be an A+ if it wasn't for the trees. And honestly, I mean, when I'm thinking back on everything, I don't see that I had a problem with anything else. Love the floors. Love the floors, the walls, all that stuff, the aesthetic, the look of it, the stability, how the floors are holding up for us. The clipping through the grass bothers me little. Very little. Okay? Because that just happens. That's going to happen no matter what. The trees, like I said, is a concern, and that is it, man. Nothing else, right? This here could be a concern right now, but It also could just be the aesthetic that you're trying to give us, like a cool motif or something. I don't know. Right? Is that clouds? Is that the moon? Is that what is that? Is that a mist? A glowing mist in the distance there? You see how it's moving and it's going across? So to me, that isn't like when we went in the vault and you saw how part of it disappeared and how we got stuck. We got to take points off of that. So A minus. A minus. Because we would have died. Okay, so the way to get it to going, and I'll tell you this and then we're gonna go, is you gotta look at one of the people standing on the platform with you. And then you have to click on them to engage them. Once you do that, it basically triggers the game to go, oh yeah. And then it drops everybody. Okay, now the people are essential and they're just NPCs and there's no big deal. It's you and Nora are the only two that really are going to take any kind of fall damage or anything. That's why you saw Nora, because she's a follower, not a true NPC, but I think at that point she actually is a follower. She takes damage. That's why she was down and hurt. While the other guys, they weren't in this case, right? So they're kind of like set pieces. So it's okay. It was okay to drop them. For us, we would have died. The drop would have killed us. And because I've done that and died. That's where I know I had to go in. We took it off because I took damage. Okay, yeah. I was say, did we toggle God mode off? I believe I did because I took damage. Yeah. So you have to toggle that on because that's the only way you're going to survive the fall. And then once you do that, right? Now, sometimes, unfortunately, it didn't, but sometimes it'll let you turn the collisions off, and then if you go all the way down and get and basically make contact with the floor, not the floor, but the floor where the other guys are standing, so if you can get out of the thing, that'll trigger everybody to fall as well. It wouldn't let us do it this time, so I had to go back up there and then click on the lady, right? If I clicked on Nora or whoever, right, it would have triggered that fall and everything. But that was the thing. But we had to make sure God mode was on to survive. That's huge, right? Because that's a pain for one, and it's a major drawback. I don't know if that's the mod. I don't know if that's something that I added that is affecting it, that is making that act that way, because it could be. And that's the danger of, when you're adding or updating a mod list, and this isn't updating, you're adding to a mod list that's already created. So yeah, we could go back and just do it again with just a straight mod list and no additions at all, and see how it goes. And maybe I should, because that would be a thing. And then maybe at the beginning of the next episode, I'll say, okay, guys, I went back, I ran it without any extra mods in there, right? Created a new guy, and then I'll just pick up. It'll be just like a quick thing where we just pick up like the 2 to 3 minutes that it takes to go down and see what happens. See how, if it allows you to go down. If it does, then we know it's something I added and it's not taking it. If it does the exact same thing with no added mods, then we know that that's just something to be expected. So look for that at the beginning of our second session. I don't know when I'm going to do that. It's going to come out, but it won't be very much longer after this one, right? So just look for that. So we'll have our answer there. The second session will be us concentrating on getting our butts down to Concord and seeing how stable Concord is. And then you know what the next session is after that. It has to be, we have to not Concord is going to be like that first sign, right? Well, Sanctuary is the first sign, but Concord is going to be that additional piece that's going to say, okay, if stability starts to get really wonky there, then we kind of know. And then we just go and make our way down towards, uh, Cortega and everything like that and see what it's like down there. And then once we start seeing that it's completely unstable there, then that's as far as we need to go. And then we know we can't do it. What I would love is to be able to take this list, right? And yeah, and run it all the way through. I would have nothing would make me happier. So just keep that in mind. I'm not looking to bash this list at all. I'm not looking to do whatever. Like I said, I really think the person who's put this list together has got something here. We just need, it just there needs to be a strong focus on making sure it's stable and reliable all the way through, right? Without the need of a beast machine to run it. Okay, so that's the key right there. So guys, hey, if you lasted this long and stay with me like this, you guys are just awesome. Okay, and I appreciate you. Okay, you guys are just the best. Look for the next episode of this coming soon, where we're gonna find out if this can be our list. Man, I know there's a lot of people that want to see this and wants to see what we can do. And like I said, keep our fingers crossed. Just know we're rooting for it. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.